Hi, this is Agreeing with Universal Pagan Temple, and okay, so this administration seems to have paganism on the mind, especially Norse paganism, heathenry, Asatru, what have you. From Kash Patel a couple weeks ago saying that he'll see Charlie Kirk in Valhalla, and now Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, big address to the top military leaders today. He said no more beards, long hair, superficial individual expression, and we don't have a military full of Nordic pagans. And his wordings exactly was Nordic pagans. And yeah, this was pretty tone deaf on who actually serves in our military. We have a lot of heathen, Asatru, Norse pagan service members in the various branches of the United States military. And they had to fight for their right to be recognized. It was just as, like 2013, Mjolnir was approved for headstones of soldiers. That's Thor's hammer for you that don't know out there. And Asatru and Heathen was added to service list in 2015. And 2017, Department of Defense recognizes the faith of heathenry and Asatru. So it hasn't been that long. And for Pete Hegseth to bring this up as a negative is pretty tone deaf, especially considering the culture of Nordic paganism in general is very warrior culture, to the point where FBI Director Kash Patel was bringing up "I'll see you in Valhalla" to Charlie Kirk. I mean, it transcends the ideals of Norse paganism, transcends multiple religions there. Kash Patel being raised Hindu, and the late Charlie Kirk being very Christian. So there you go. I mean, it's attractive to law enforcement and military service, but for Pete Hegseth to just I'm gonna dunk on the Nordic pagans. Well, I pointed it out, and several other people also pointed it out, that if he would have said that about Muslims or Orthodox Jews or even Sikhs, which they can be allowed to have beards, he would have been making an apology by now. He can get away with it with pagans because we tend to not raise a big stink legally about such things. Although, in the future, maybe we might want to actually start doing that to get some respect. Because, yeah, this is just completely out of line. And I understand the entire point of, this administration making this address of, saying, oh, we got to shape up our military, because they're pretty much mobilizing for, either war with Russia or with Iran, with Netanyahu coming to the White House yesterday, and then Netanyahu giving the speech about those who help Israel will be blessed, and those who don't will not, will be cursed by the Lord. All that Christian Zionist guilt tripping that they've been doing for years upon years since the foundation of Israel, in order to get the Christian Zionists to, still be on board with Israel, to fight their never-ending war. So then they can make us, Israel can make us lots of enemies in the Middle East. And unfortunately, those enemies pour into Europe, and the poor Europeans are having to deal with Muslim invasion. But yeah, with the and also in our military, I want to get back to what Pete Hegseth said about beards. You remember in our military service, especially during the Civil War, a lot of people brought this up. So many commanders, officers, generals had beards, which was the style back then. And I understand warfare changed, where they have gas and you got to wear a gas mask, and maybe a beard might get in the way, but apparently there's certain ways that you can trim a beard to fit inside a gas mask, but yeah, it's pretty tone deaf. It's all good and well to have physicals twice a year for military members, but yeah, he's only picking at Nordic pagans, Norse pagans, because they're an easy target, one that he won't get in trouble for. If he went after, like I said, Islam, Sikhs, yeah, he'd be in trouble. But it is what it is until, they, like I said prior, when I did a video on this with Kash Patel, talking about Valhalla and Charlie Kirk, he's going to, in about 10, 15 years, it's not going to be a topic that they're going to want to address in any sort of negativity like he did here. Well, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, blessed be.